Hey everyone, how is everybody doing today? All right, I guess I can talk and you guys can hear me. I'm on Whitehall Street right now, and we are going to be getting out of the train station in a moment. This right over here, in case you're wondering, is the W train. This is the last stop here in Lower Manhattan, and the train that just departed on my left was the train that I came in on. That was the R train. You can see what time it is. It is 11:17 in the morning on June 11th. Temperature outside is going to be 92 degrees. It is a hot one today. So. You know what? We'll take the escalator. Why not? This is a very old escalator. You can also take the 1 train here. I'll show you where that is. We're not going to go into the station, but we'll see it on the way out. That's where you would go to get the 1 train. You go down that way. Alright, this will get us onto Whitehall Street up here. And like I said, it's 92 degrees out here today. It is quite warm today. We're going to walk in that direction, but let's look around here. We're at the end. This is where the ferry terminal is over here. There goes the ferry terminal if you want to see it. It's kind of hard to see it over here right now. Alright, let's get going this way. We're going to spend some time in Lower Manhattan once again, but this time we're going to see if we can get over to the Battery. Alright, let's see what's going on down here. Trying to figure out what my route is going to be. Of course, we start off with getting stuck at a traffic light that just turned red. And now we could go. Here we go. I used to work down here. This is another area in Manhattan that I have worked. So on the next block, and also there is a. We'll see if Dominic is over here. So Dominic's sausages. This guy, he's not here every day. He's here on certain days. We'll see if he's here today. I see a truck over there, but I can't tell if that's him. But I think he makes the best sausage and peppers ever. Better than what you're going to get at the Feast and street festivals. Yeah, I know. You're probably thinking, what about better than Lucy's? I personally think so. Yeah, he's right here, guys. There he is. And he makes amazing knishes. And then right over here is One Battery Park Plaza. I was a contractor for a law firm in here for a few months, years ago. And as you can imagine, I would come downstairs to get sausage and peppers. So I get across the street. Today is the first day of World Cup. So you're going to see, at times, you're going to see people with soccer jerseys. Here in New York, of course, last night, the Knicks won game 5, I guess? They were up, game 4. They're up 3-1. In what they say, the biggest comeback in NBA history in the finals. Also, you're probably gonna notice some wind and stuff, and that's to be expected in this part of Manhattan. It's a lot of wind comes in off the ocean. This is the tip of Manhattan, and you get a lot of crosswinds and stuff. Another big mention, speaking of the Knicks, if the Knicks win the NBA championship, they will be marching down here for their ticket tape parade. This is the Canyon of Heroes down here. This is where all the ticket tape parades come down. Actually, this is where they start as they march down to City Hall. I've been to a few ticket tape parades for the Yankees, but I remember the '96 ticket tape parade for the Yankees. It was absolute pandemonium. So I can imagine that is going to happen if the Knicks win the NBA Finals. Let's get back down this way. The Burger King is still here after all those years. And over here, I don't know if they still have it this way. We'll find out in a second. I'm not going to say nothing until I want to see. I want to confirm. Oh, it looks like they still have the pizza place. We used to come here a lot, and I used to come here a lot and eat here. They have seating right at the window. Yeah, the seating at the window is still there. Now, right across the street, I don't know if it's still here, but this is where the Lotto office used to be, or may still be. I don't know. Where you would come claim your prize and stuff. I don't know if they've moved or anything. I don't see. Usually, you used to see like a bunch of signage in the windows and stuff. Not anymore. Alright, so you know what I want to do? I want to go kind of walking away from where I want to end up. So let's go this way. Oh, well, you know what? I might as well take you down over by Wall Street. Right by the stock exchange. Wouldn't that be fitting? Got a big SpaceX IPO coming out tomorrow on Friday. Let's get into the street here. So we're gonna eventually get down to the Battery, where the waterfront is. So if you guys want to see a nice waterfront, you guys are gonna see it. We're gonna, I guess what we'll do is maybe we'll go down Wall Street. I would imagine Elon Musk is going to be ringing the opening bell tomorrow. I'm only guessing that. I mean, that would make sense, right? If he's going to open up his SpaceX stock. Very quiet outside. So there is the stock exchange. Much different since 9/11, I'll tell you. Since 9/11, the security down here is just absolutely ridiculous. So that right over there is Federal Hall. That is where George Washington took the oath of office for the first president of the United States. It did not look like that, though. That was not the original building. know what? We'll stay between the gate and the scaffolding, and then I'll get in here right over here. There's a little opening. There we go. Taking you guys on a old-fashioned New York City tour. This is like what you would do if you were a tourist. You'd come down here. And for those of you wondering, I know I'm getting all caught up in the camera work, but that is Trinity Church. I get, you know, once I get into my, working on my camera work, my brain just locks. I'm just locked in to making sure that, I'm getting good camera angles so you guys can see the church and stuff. This right here is Rector. We're gonna go up Rector. Can we go up Rector? It looks closed. We're not gonna go up Rector. It's open, but it's a mess. They're doing some big time construction over there. So like I said, it is 92 degrees. It is a hot day out. And it's not just hot, it is really humid out. So there is a heat index applied to this. And that heat index is an even 100. So with the temperature, it feels like 100. With the humidity, feels like 100 degrees out. Got some dog walkers. All right, we're gonna go down this very tiny Exchange Alley, guys. See if I don't know if you guys have ever seen Exchange Alley. See how tight it is. Other than the temperature and the humidity, it is a nice day out. Yeah, there's a lot of construction going on down here. I gotta see where I'm going. Wow, I'm kind of turned around. I feel like a tourist right now. We want to go that way. Where those buildings that I'm looking at, we want to go that way. The park looks like it's open, so we could probably cut through the park. So we'll give you guys a nice little park walk. Rector Street Station for the one, you'll find, that's the thing, in this area, this general area we're walking, you're going to find a lot of different train stations because they all come into Brooklyn over here. Well, the one train doesn't go into Brooklyn. The one train originates out of Whitehall, but you're going to see a lot of train stations in this area. Like we were at Whitehall, you got this stop right here, you got the Bowling Green stop, you got the Wall Street stop that we just walked by. There's tons of train lines down here. We're gonna take this overpass to the other side. That last building on the left, actually I would say maybe the last two buildings or maybe this whole strip, but this is where one of the New York City DMVs is. One of the biggest DMVs. I've actually been in there one time, and it was a very long time ago. It was where I took my written test to get my learner's permit a very long time ago. I know some people might think, why didn't I do it in the Coney Island one or the Brooklyn one? Because at the time I was always in the city skateboarding and stuff, and I knew the area very well, so I felt comfortable coming to this one. I knew Coney Island very well too, but might as well go take a written test and then go skateboarding. Very nice view in here if you want to watch cars coming out of the tunnel, going into the tunnel. So if this looks a little bit familiar where we're walking, that is because we were down here, if you remember, we were down here for the freeze, the New York City freeze snap that we had, the cold snap. We actually walked this very route right here, coming down this street right here. I think this is Morris, but yeah, this is pretty much Morris Street. And then yeah, we walked down here. I remember on that day it was freaking cold, and there was a guy moving furniture down here. You could go back in my channel, just go back to you're gonna have to go back a little bit. You'll see. As a matter of fact, I took a pic. The thumbnail of the walk is actually a girl all bundled up right where we're gonna cross in a few moments. This is down here is crosswalk hell. I mean, you have to like really, you gotta walk just to find a crosswalk down here. It's really bad. Because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to find a way to get to that side. We got the light at the right time. I'll just wait for the light here. I'm not going to cross over that bridge. Hey, you can see the World Trade right up above us there. That unmarked cop car is going through a U-turn over there. This is, by the way, West Street. You're going to wait a long time for a light here. And unfortunately, people have died crossing this street. Many people, not many, but a good number of people have died crossing West Street against the light. You don't want to try to beat a light here. All right, looks like we're on our way to the Battery finally. This time though, when we go to the Battery, unlike the last time we went this winter, there's going to be no big chunks of ice. And as you can see, nobody's bundled up. So much different look this time. They are painting lines over here, guys. You want to see them paint lines? I could smell it. It's got this like really distinct smell. Don't step on the lines. They're newly painted. Damn, that dude looked like he was really having an intense run there. All right, we are about a block away from the Battery. We're gonna walk on the Battery for a while. Got to be careful. There's all stop signs here and stuff. You got to watch and make sure that you're not going to get hit by any trucks. All right, so we're going to walk through Battery Park City for a little bit. I just realized I gotta go to the bathroom. TMI. Too much information. I'll be fine though. I mean, I'll just stay close in this area, and then after I'll jump into the mall. We're not gonna go into the mall today like we did the last couple of times. We're gonna stay outside. This is a 99% walk outside. We did start the walk, I know, out underneath the ground. We were at Whitehall Street Station. Here we go. We made it to the waterfront. 29 minutes, so it took us 30 minutes to get over here. And that is because, you know, it's still closed off down here. They're doing all this weird construction. So there goes the Statue of Liberty. I will turn the zoom on for you guys. There it is. Lady Liberty. Give you guys a nice look around. That's Jersey City out there, right across from us. Let's start walking. It looks like more construction partitions have popped up since we got down here last, so I'm assuming we could walk through this, so we'll see. I never like, you know, it has to get done, right? They have to renovate, I get it. But I never like walking, you know, through like construction zones, because it's just, you know, it's like all cluttered up, and it's, for me personally, it's not visually pleasing. But it is what it is, right? So we got to do it. You can see right here, there's a lot of blocked off stuff going on. It looks like the streets are getting reconstructed on the other side, or whatever is over there. The last time we were here, like I said, it was a lot of icebergs. It was a much different landscape 6 months ago. We had one of the coldest winters. So this thing says it's closed ahead. We'll see how far ahead. Wow, it is like closed everywhere. They're not joking, huh? I mean, you could leave. So you could leave. I'm looking to my left, not my left, my right. And there are ways to get out. So we'll see if we get over here, we have to turn around or go out or something. It says no marina access. So yeah, we're gonna have to turn around. It's no exit beyond this point, so we're gonna turn around this way. Hold on a second. Let's do some exploring. Let's see what's over here. I never mess around over there. Yeah, it looks like it's all private over here. I don't want to be you know, trying to go through private areas. So I'm going to take you guys through that little exit that I saw back here that you guys didn't see that I was talking about. I'll show you a very tight exit point over here. Very short space to really come down here and enjoy the water. It's right over here, I believe. I believe this was it right here. Yep, I was right. So this is what I saw over my right shoulder when we were walking by the other way. "34 minutes of walking." Doesn't feel like I've done any walking. That's because I'm like walking really slow and we're we're basically staying downtown right now. All right, let's get on the streets then. Where shall we go? Now this is totally unplanned route. Now we're definitely talking about unplanned route. Guess we'll get on to South End Avenue. I definitely have never taken anybody down here on this channel. So you can see we are in the financial district for sure. Another building I worked in. I worked in all these Liberty buildings. I worked in that one. A lot of places. I have contracted in a lot of places down here in Manhattan. A nice view. Look at that view. It's a beautiful view. That is a great view of the sky. You can see the clouds. So this is where, by the way, the marina is. So this is where we had to turn around. Why we had to turn around. This is all closed off. I mean, they really dredging out the whole area down here. They're not playing around. Well, let's see if we could get around. It'd be great if just this is all closed off. Then we can get back onto the Battery. Let's see. Let's find out what's going on the other side. Because what this is over here is where the marina is, and then there's like a nice plaza area. You got an atrium inside these buildings. We'll see. Looks like I can see people walking around coming out of there, so. Look at all the, this is all the work they're doing down here. Look at that. That's a lot of work. So the Battery continues right over here. So I'm assuming that we're going to be able to go back on, maybe. This is turning out to be a very visually engaging walk, right? Because we're like walking through all these construction zones, close quarter walking with people. And this is where the atrium is, by the way. Atrium is right in front of us, this big glass case that you see. That is the atrium. Nice area. I mean, it's a great area. The sound of helicopters everywhere down here. There's a ton of heliports down here. This is the atrium, guys. All right, this will get us back onto the Battery down here. You can see all of the construction going on at the marina. So it's not a total loss. We get to do some more walking on the waterfront. I hope everybody is enjoying this walk. A little bit, you know, a little bit disorganized, it feels like, right? But it's still working out.
Oh, that's great. Sorry to interrupt, chat. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Holy, guys, I just walked by the sign. I just walked by the sign for this. Do you know when this is supposed to be completed? 2030. Ouch. Another 4 years. I'm over here thinking, yeah, next summer. This will be ready next summer. Nope. 2030 is the completion notice. Wow. Okay, so we're back. We're back on the waterfront here, guys. There's the this is the ferry terminal over here. If you guys remember 9/11, when everyone was being rescued out of downtown after the buildings collapsed, this is where that took place. All those boats coming and just taking all those people to get them out of the lower part of Manhattan. This is where all that occurred. If you've ever seen, I'm sure you've all seen those videos. And there is yet another building down here that I worked in. I don't know if we're gonna look at. How you doing? I'm sorry, I can't. I'm filming right now. Thank you. People are. That's the second person trying to stop me. One guy tried to sell me candy, and he's doing a survey. I was gonna say, I worked in the Citibank building down here on Greenwich Street. I got some old videos, cell phone videos from the first cell phone camera. I had one of the first cell phone cameras, the LG Dare. This is before the iPhone. And it's kind of crazy. I was actually looking at it the other day. Very pixelated. The video format looked very old. And I got video, and that we're talking, I want to say like 2007, 2006, 2007, when I was working down here. We're still on the waterfront, obviously, and there is Jersey City. They got this nice big lawn here for people to sit out and have the sun. It is hot, I'll tell you that. It is hot, hot, hot. Today is a sweat day. I am sweating. I want to make my way back down to, you know what I want to do? Maybe get down to Greenwich Street. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see if I get down to Greenwich Street. And then walk Greenwich Street back into financial area. That's a big sandwich. Well, it's just a loaf of bread. It doesn't look like there's any meat on there. I'll show you guys the Citibank building I worked in once we get... You can kind of see it through the trees, but I'll give you a better view. They got pong, and there goes the ball. There goes the ball into the water, guys. There goes. Game over. You guys just saw a fatal death of a pong ball live on camera right there. I think that was the first death we have recorded. Considering all the bad neighborhoods we've walked through in New York City, the first death recorded was a ping pong ball that fell and drowned in the Hudson. Well, you know, technically it's probably floating, so it's probably like Wilson, and it's floating out at sea somewhere now. Wow, it just got extremely hot once that sun came out of the clouds. So speaking of the weather, we do have some storms that are possibly going to be coming in here tonight and tomorrow night. So I am currently on storm watch to see if we'll be able to get a rain walk or a thunderstorm walk in. Here comes a ferry. Let's zoom in on that. There we go. By the way, that is over there. That is the Citibank building, the big one, the taller one out of those two. Those two other buildings to the right are like apartment buildings, but that building right there with the big glass facade, that is the Citibank building on Greenwich. Total full disclosure, I was only going to plan this to be like a 30-minute walk. We were just going to do a short walk, and now I just want to keep walking. Guys just hopping along. Got all these boats moored out here, anchored out. Looks like they're moored though. Alright, so we're going to exit the Battery and we are going to walk back towards the World Trade, and that's where we'll end it. So I know we got 52 minutes of walking in so far, so we'll see how much more we've got going. Looks like more construction. There's a lot of construction everywhere down here. I'm gonna turn right, and I'm gonna just hope for the best. I'll tell you one thing, I can't wait to get in a shower. That's where we're going. We're going to end over there. See where I could get access for this bridge, and we could get across the west side. Oh, fire truck. There it is. We always try to get a fire truck on our walks. All right, let's do the bridge. Let's walk up the bridge. I'm gonna walk up slow just to save my legs and my energy. That's the bridge we're gonna walk over right there. All right, here we go. So you have a high school over here and you have a college right over here. That's why you see all these kids hanging out. I guess it's a cool area. And I don't mean cool as in you're cool, dude. I'm talking about temperature-wise. Maybe that's why they're all in here. Oh, look at this staircase. My camera had turned around. I'll give you one guess which camera I'm using today. But yeah, the camera just totally flips. I'll tell you, that's the one thing that really annoys me about the new camera. It just it'll just switch to selfie mode. That's 2 fire trucks. But it'll just switch to selfie mode. Like, just totally flip over and show the bottom of my mug. And I don't catch it right away. So then I gotta cut out a chunk of the little bit of walk in there and then start from wherever that picks up again. PS 234 right to my right. Get here all the little kids. We've made it down to Greenwich Street. Nice to see that the McDonald's is still on the corner over here, huh? I had lunch in there a couple times. Those days were long ago, man. When I used to be young and eat a lot of fast food. Let's get onto the sidewalk so I don't have to show some kids on the camera. Although, I mean, I've had no choice but to walk through a lot of areas where there's a lot of young kids today. So we are about an hour of walking right now. This is a pretty active construction zone, so I'm gonna walk down to the next block. And I'm gonna stay in the street just for the sake of showing you guys some architecture. This right here is West Broadway. Not to be confused with the actual Broadway. See the old Woolworth building up there? That was the first tallest building in the world back in the day. At least the first tallest skyscraper in Manhattan. It is not even close to the tallest building in the world anymore. A building that height is now, I guess, considered... Well, no, I guess you would consider it tall, but I was going to say medium. We're getting close to ending this walk. I want to thank everybody for tagging along. This was, I felt like this walk was quite visually engaging because of all the stuff we had to go through. We went over a couple of bridges. We were on the waterfront. We actually stopped to look inside the atrium. And in case you're wondering, I still got to go to the bathroom. Which will not be a problem. I gotta get on the train anyway, so. I'll go into the mall, relieve myself, and then get on the train, go home. If you're watching this, I filmed this on Thursday, June 11th. Not uploading it until Friday, June 12th. Might as well. Crossover over here. Let me give you guys a look. This is building 7, right? The new building 7. And then of course you got the World Trade right up above us. Look how high that is. I'm gonna stop the walk right at, I guess we can stop over at the North Tower footprint reflecting pool. Do that. I'm sure there's people looking at us. There I go right there. It's the base of the World Trade Center right here. I just got blinded. I'm not going to point the camera, but the sun is like, it's like a mirror. The sun is like just perfectly, it doesn't even look like glare. It's the actual sun in the glass. All right, so here we are. We're going to end it right over here. See, all the people are out. this is where we'll end it, right here. I'll give you guys a look and then we'll close it out. You see the many names of all of the people we lost on 9/11. And no, we never forget. Although it quite seems like a lot of people have forgotten already. Alright guys, I'm going to call it. I want to thank everybody for tagging along today. It's quite an interesting walk, I'll tell you that. I will catch you all on the next one whenever that takes place. So take care and bye-bye from Lower Manhattan.